I'm just going out there to get some garden goodies. Like the excitement I feel right before I go and harvest my garden, no matter how big or small. I always get so excited. It is bright and early in the morning. I hear the bees in the flowers. I hear them buzzing around in the air. It's almost magical. And when I come out to harvest my garden, I just feel this huge bubble inside, and it travels from my stomach all the way up my chest to my head, my brain. I'm sure there's lots of oxytocin going on, dopamine. Like, it's a huge chemical release for me. It's like I did this. I was blood, sweat, and tears in this, guys. I'm serious. And today I'm out at my squash. See if I can get you squash. Beautiful flower. Okay. Get you sit back down there. Okay. Hope you don't fall. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead, snip this guy off. He's a little small, but the color's right. His color's right. He's a darker yellow. So that means, oh, his squash bug's laid right on the dadgum fruit. That's odd. That was odd. It was squash bug eggs right there. Okay, here we go. Next. I've had less squash bug problems on the plants that have been weeded around better. I haven't planted my squash in the exact same spot, I believe, but it's in the same garden. I planted it a row over 2 years ago, and then I planted it a row under 2 years ago. So it may be time to put my squash in my 20 by 20 garden next year. I had the squash in there last year, but you need to rotate your squash plantings or you're going to get squash bugs more if you get squash bugs, which in Oklahoma, yeah, squash bugs are a thing. And we're going to get to see one. I don't know if you can see that bugger. There he is. He's a baby. You just squash him. And there is two. You like to get out here early in the morning to do this because it's not as hot. And my squash are pretty dirty. So I don't want to take that in my kitchen and my sink. So I just brought a bowl out here instead of turning on the water hose. It wastes less water this way, you know, and you don't get the sand in your sink. Well, my dirt's real sandy, so look at that sucker. My soil's real sandy. It was basically all sand in my garden when I moved here. And every new spot that I till up is that real fine sandy stuff. I would call it sandy loam or whatever it's sandy is. I'll get out. That one, he was ready. Okay. So when I turn my new gardens over, I tend to go get mulch for the mulch site to mulch them with, and then that breaks down over time and it creates a really nice soil, a darker soil. The sand is really, really light colored and powdery and really doesn't hold water well. It's good for things like watermelons and cantaloupes, but for things that need a lot of water like cucumbers, what else? You know, squash, tomatoes, It's really, really hard to keep the nutrients in the soil with the sand because, you know, you'll fertilize and then the rain comes and it washes it right down because it's so, I don't know, it's just so fine. It just takes the nutrients down in the ground with it. So the plants don't have a chance to take it up. So mulching with wood chips is how I've been turning my soil over. Now it does take time and lots of patience because you have to like keep on top of your fertilization game. Like I didn't keep on top of it last year. I didn't get many crops, but this year I'm kind of keeping up on my watering schedule and my fertilizing schedule. I'm picking the squash off because when you pick the squash off, it makes more squash. So I'm kind of keeping up better than I did last year, which is good. I'm so proud of myself for that. I really am. But anyway, just watching squash. Sitting here. Pardon me. I went out to the weeds yesterday to get, well, this old basketball goal for somebody. It's kind of broke, but I was hoping they can fix it. Anyway, I gave it to them and I found a whole bunch of wire. Well, I've got my tomatoes out there laying on the ground because I haven't had any way to trellis them up yet. Well, then I was going to go buy some wire, but I totally forgot about that wire I had from the garden 2 or 3 years ago. Because like 3 years ago is the last time my garden did well, honestly. So I forgot about it. Well, I found that, so now I can go trellis my other 10, I think I got 10 tomatoes, 8 or 10 tomatoes out there in a row. So, okay. So I can go trellis them with that, and I'll probably do that this weekend. I may do 3 tonight, 3 tomorrow, and 3 Saturday and break it up because you can't work out here very long in the heat. It's hot. It's not really the heat that gets you. You know, it's the humidity in Oklahoma that's so bad for you. That's my little garden haul this morning. My squash. I didn't go check my cucumbers. Yep. Okay, back to the sandy soil thing. We had a 20 by 20 pool spot. We cleared off and put sand in for a pool. Well, I just couldn't take care of the pool. I just couldn't get it right. And so we eventually took it down. I planted a garden in that 20 by 20, and I've been adding soil to the top of it, but like, you know, this far down is sand. So that's my worst garden spot, and really usually I plant my okra there. Pardon me. Because okra don't really care a lot about drought and lack of nutrition. It'll go pretty good anyway. But I planted my cucumbers out there and tomatoes and kale and radishes. They're growing kind of slow because of the lack of fertilization because of sand. But I'm gonna start fertilizing them once a week. What I'm trying to get at is my cucumbers. When I see one that I think's about ready, it's still got 2 or 3 days to it because I like mine bigger so I can make pickle spears. And so I've been watching a couple of those cucumbers. I don't think they're ready yet. I might go check them in a little bit, but I gotta get ready for work, y'all. I have a full-time job and a full-time farm and a full-time everything else. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye. All right, in my kitchen now. It's 9:30 a.m. I woke up at 8:30. I went to sleep at 2 a.m. after I did jelly last night. So, sand plum jelly. They're not quite set yet, but once I'm able to move them in the morning, I'll go ahead and stick them back in the tray so I can move them around and they're kind of stable. They won't, because you really want them to set. You want to be very, very careful moving your jars for about 24 hours. And I was going to try to deliver these tonight, but I'm not sure they're going to be quite ready. They're beautiful. Oklahoma have these little sand plums, and they're very small plums. And you cook them down and get some juice out. I added about a cup of water to it. And then you know, just make it with sugar and pectin. Cut it off. I'm charging $7 a piece for these because it's hard to come by. Usually my jars of jelly are $5. That's nowhere here and there. Da, da, da. And this is like my third picking. The first picking I picked 1. The second picking I picked 3. The third picking I picked 1. And now the fourth picking, you see where this is going? Fourth picking. Dun, dun, dun. I'm just joking, but I'm so excited about that, guys. Last night we had fresh cut up squash. I think 2 days ago we had fried squash. Tonight we may have sauteed squash. You get where I'm going with this? I am just now in the season where I am seasonally eating, or trying to. You guys, I'm trying really hard to do this garden. And I've been trying for like 4 years, 5 years. First year I did a garden here, I gotta tell you this. I did a little strip of teal, little bitty, I don't know, I think I might have even used a shovel. I planted like 10 okra. Oh, I was so excited. I was so proud of myself. About, June, July, they had weeds everywhere. I didn't weed. I didn't, break up the soil. I didn't water them. I didn't fertilize them. And I was like, oh, I did a garden, look. Seriously though, I didn't give up. I kept going. The next year, I think I did a little 30 by 30 garden, and I did basically fall crops. I did kale, spinach, beets, carrots, onions, and a few tomatoes. And yeah, I think that's what I did. And it did better. I tended it better. Okay, and then the third year, 3 years ago, was when COVID hit. So I had a bigger garden. I did lots of stuff, did fantastic, lots of water. 2 years ago, it just drowned it out, rotted all the roots, no garden. Last year, it got so hot, I had to step away from the house for about a month, and it dried up. I mean, Jason, bless his heart, first time gardener, he didn't know what to do. So this year, lots of water. Mom is home. Gardening like crazy. I'm taking care of it. And I've got 4,000 square feet. I've got like a 90 by 40. I got a 30 by 30. And I got a 20 by 20. I've got tomatoes in pots. I've got, I threw some butternut squash out behind here where the air conditioning unit is. I'm doing the most this year, you guys. I'm so excited. I got everything. Watermelons, cantaloupe, cucumbers, okra, squash, beets, potatoes, beans. I think that's about it. And some Armenian cucumbers. What else have I got? Butternut squash, spaghetti squash, pumpkins. So this, but now listen to me. When it's this much work on the front end, imagine what it's going to be like on the back end. Canning all this stuff and buying all the jars for it. So I've got a lot of jars, but I don't have enough. Hear me? I need like 40 cases of jars. And I haven't been buying them every week like I should have been this whole time. Note to self, do that next year, okay? This year, Marlena, buy a case of jars a week or every 2 weeks, and you're going to be cool, okay? All right. Okay. So I love you guys. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get these. I'm going to make a water bath for them in the sink. And I'm going to soak them for about 30-45 minutes and kind of hydrate. They should be pretty good and hydrated because we've had a lot of rain. But I'm going to go ahead and soak them so they stay longer in my refrigerator. All right. I love you guys. Bye.